The Galactic Tribunal had witnessed many species plead for their existence over the millennia. The Zephyrians had wept crystalline tears that shattered like glass on the obsidian floor. The Morgathi had offered their entire technological repository. In exchange for mercy, the Velkans had simply knelt in silent acceptance of their fate, but no species had ever laughed. Commander Elena Vasquez stood in the center of the trial chamber, her weathered hands clasped behind her back, watching the 12 high judges deliberate her species' fate. The charges were clear. Humanity had violated 17 interstellar accords, decimated 3 neutral trading posts, and committed what the Galactic Council termed reckless disregard for established cosmic order. The penalty, as always, was extinction. You find this amusing, human? Judge Vexithari's mental projection rippled with indignation. The psionic's ethereal form pulsed brighter, casting eerie shadows across the chamber walls. Elena's smile never wavered. Forgive me, Your Honor. It's just, you called this trial unwinnable, and yet here I stand. Semantics, Judge Korthak growled, his mandibles clicking with annoyance. No species has ever survived these proceedings. Your guilt is absolute. Perhaps, Elena said, taking a measured step forward, but you made one critical error in your assessment. The chamber fell silent. Even the ever-present hum of the station's quantum processors seemed to pause. You assumed we came here to win. Judge Selandra, eldest of the temporal wardens, leaned forward in her crystalline throne. Explain yourself, Primitive. Elena reached into her jacket, a movement that caused several energy barriers to flicker to life around the judges, and withdrew a small, battered device. This is a standard human data recorder. Nothing special about it, really. But 37 minutes ago it finished uploading something very interesting to every communication network, every data hub, and every information repository in the galaxy. The judges exchanged glances that transcended species barriers. Universal concern looked remarkably similar across the cosmos. The complete record of these proceedings, Elena continued, her voice carrying clearly in the vast chamber. Every trial, every species, every execution order, but more importantly, the real reason behind them. Judge Vexithari's form flickered. You're bluffing. Our security is impenetrable. Your security is designed to keep information in, Elena said. Humans, we specialize in getting information out. Tell me, when was the last time any of you actually visited the Zephyrian homeworld? Or checked on the Morgathi colonies? The silence stretched longer this time. They're not extinct, are they? Elena's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. You relocate them. Strip them of their technology, their culture, their identity, and turn them into a slave workforce for your precious core worlds. The Unwinnable trial isn't about justice, it's about recruitment. Judge Korthak rose from his seat, towering above the chamber floor. Even if your accusations held merit, which they do not, you have no proof. Elena's laugh returned, richer this time. Proof? Your Honor, I just provided it, along with the coordinates of 73 extinct species currently laboring in your mining facilities, agricultural centers, and manufacturing complexes. But here's the beautiful part. I also included something else. She pressed a button on the device. Suddenly, the chamber's main display activated, showing feeds from across the galaxy. On world after world, members of supposedly extinct species looked up from their work, seeing their own faces broadcast across every screen in their vicinity. Recognition dawned in millions of eyes simultaneously. You've shown them they're not alone, Elena said softly. And more importantly, you've shown the rest of the galaxy exactly what the Galactic Council really is. Judge Selandra's ancient voice carried a tremor. You've doomed your entire species for this momentary gesture. Have I? Elena asked. Because I'm looking at 12 beings who've just lost the most valuable thing in the universe, plausible deniability. Every species you've subjugated now knows the truth. Every member world now questions their membership. Every allied government now wonders if they'll be next. The chamber erupted in chaos as the judges began shouting over each other in a dozen different languages. Elena stood calmly in the center of it all, waiting. Judge Vexithari finally restored order with a psychic pulse that silenced the chamber. Your species will still be eliminated. This changes nothing. Actually, it changes everything, Elena said. You see, humans have this annoying habit of planning ahead. Right about now, every extinct species in your labor camps is receiving detailed instructions on how to disable their control collars. Every allied world is receiving evidence of your crimes, and every news organization in the galaxy is getting the story of the century. She paused, letting the implications sink in. But the real beauty is this. You can't make an example of humanity now. If you destroy Earth, you prove everything I've said. If you try to relocate us, the whole galaxy will be watching. And if you let us go, she smiled. Well, that's not really your style, is it? Judge Korthak's voice came out as a snarl. You've engineered a stalemate at best. No, Elena said, her eyes gleaming. I've engineered a revolution. The galaxy just learned that the biggest threat to their freedom isn't some external enemy. It's the government they trusted to protect them. As if summoned by her words, alerts began flashing throughout the chamber. Reports of uprisings on 12 worlds, 3 member species formally withdrawing from the council, emergency sessions being called in every major government. Judge Selandra stood slowly, her ancient frame trembling with rage. You would tear down millennia of order for your petty revenge? Elena's expression grew serious for the first time since entering the chamber. Your Honor, humans learned long ago that there's no such thing as a little bit of freedom. You're either free or you're not. And today, I gave the galaxy a choice. The trial continued for 17 more hours, but its outcome had been decided the moment Elena pressed that button. The Galactic Council, facing the complete collapse of their authority, was forced to grant humanity a full pardon and a seat at the rebuilt Galactic Assembly. But Elena Vasquez never lived to see the new government take shape. She died peacefully, in her sleep 3 months later on a small farm on Earth's surface, surrounded by grandchildren who would grow up in a galaxy where the word unwinnable had lost all meaning. The revolution she started burned for decades, reshaping the cosmic political landscape forever. And in the history books of 100 worlds, the day became known as the moment when one human's laughter brought down an empire. The galaxy, indeed, hadn't slept since.